I have to make a lesbian joke. So did you just show up with your U-Haul?
That was the
That was
second,
the second one.
second date.
Yeah.
Second date. We wanted to make sure that was left intact.
Yes.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Conscious Dating Network Success Stories. Conscious Dating Network is comprised of multiple online dating sites, including spiritualsingles.com, greensingles.com, conscioussingles.com, and many others. And people only need to join one site to automatically have access to all members from all sites. And today it's my very special pleasure to be interviewing a lovely couple, Twinfeathers and Rae. Welcome, you two.
Hi.
So you guys are a relatively recent success story, and
Yes,
it happened. Yeah, and it happened very fast for you. So let's see, today, what is today? I don't even know. It's November 26th.
26th.
Yeah, Thanksgiving week in the United States. And how long ago did you guys meet?
About 6 months.
6 months ago. Okay. And
Online.
right on. And were you members of Spiritual Singles or another site?
Spiritual Singles.
I was part of Natural Awakening Singles.
Great.
Yeah.
Which just illustrates my point. You can join any site and meet anybody from any site. So that's a great example. Okay.
Right.
And I know you guys had some interference from another member, which is kind of unusual and neat. And it's also a testament to how cool our members are. So
Yes.
yeah, tell me how that worked. What happened?
Well, about 4 years ago, I joined Natural Awakening Signals when it was first offered. I was one of the, inaugural members, and poked around, met a couple of gals, one from Cleveland, Mary Cleveland, and we hit it off as friends. Had a lot of in common things, but we knew right away that it would be friends. And we kept talking on the website. And then when it became time, I was in Tucson, Arizona at the time. And when it became time for me to leave, I got rid of everything and I headed out, and I ended up in Cleveland. Wasn't sure that's where I would end up. And I stayed with her for a little bit. So we got to know each other really well. So we became really good friends. And then I took off and did other things. And then in May of this year, I get an email from her saying, you need to update your profile. This gal could have written your, thing from before. And I went, really? Ugh. So I updated it. I put some new pictures, some goofy pictures of me on there. And she even wrote back and said, you might want to just do something different. That's pretty wild. I mean, I have a tattoo on the back of my head with winking eyes. And so it's on my profile. And so, anyway, she thought it was weird. And I went, well, if they can't handle this, it's okay. They're not for me. So then she ended up, because I have to say, because she had a paid membership, she facilitated us getting together. So we met in May, around the middle to the late May, and we talked like 2 or 3 times, and then I said, okay, we have to meet. So I drove down in June, the beginning of June, for 2 weeks.
Hmm.
We hung out for 2 weeks,
And Rae, wait. So you were still in Cleveland at the time, Twinfeathers?
I actually had moved to South Dakota by then. I went from Cleveland to South Dakota. And Rae is in Tulsa, Oklahoma. So it was easier for me to just pick up and go and there was more to see in Tulsa than there was in South Dakota, to be honest. But not that I didn't love it there. So I just came down and we hung out for 2 weeks. It was like, okay, that's it.
Wait a minute. So okay, so you talked on the phone 2 or 3 times
before
yeah.
we decided to come together and
Right.
meet. We talked some more after that, but mostly
Okay.
like the third
So-
time and we knew.
So from my end, I joined Green Singles 2 years ago. And I was hounded by a roommate. It's like, you need to be on, and I'm like, whatever. And so I finally, just to shut him up, I got on Green Singles and I met someone and we connected, and it was a really good healing journey for me to go through what I experienced with that person. Very grateful for it. And when that concluded and when I received the healing that I went there to receive, then I was prompted by my guides to go ahead and get back on. And interestingly enough, it would not let me access my old profile. It was like, no, you need to start again. You're done with that part of your life.
Wow.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
It was very clear. It was like, no, you're
Mhm.
not the same person. You cleared out what you went there to clear out. Start
Mhm.
over. So I chose Spiritual Singles because it felt more resonant with me, the name and whatever.
Mhm.
And so I set up my profile, and within a few months, like maybe 2 months, I got this message from this woman, and I had viewed her profile, and that's all I did was I viewed the profile. And you know how it works. When I viewed her profile, it sent her an email, said so and so viewed your profile. So she went on and looked at my profile, and she sends me this message, and she says, oh my God, you've got to meet my friend. You could have written each other's profiles. And if you're not twins, I don't know what, and da da da. And I'm like,
Twin flames, she kept calling us.
yeah, twin flames. And so I get the message from her, and I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. You know.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was like,
I did the same thing.
yeah, I was like, yeah,
Well,
whatever.
Yeah, but
Whatever.
Rae, you didn't know her, and Twin Feathers.
No, I didn't know her
did.
at all. She's
Yeah,
like,
so out of
here,
the
and
blue.
I'm like, okay, yeah, whatever. So she didn't bother to tell me how to find her online.
Oh, minor
She's
details.
like,
Oh, she didn't give you the
No,
oh, she gave me
no,
the whole profile.
no, she didn't.
She gave me
No,
the whole
she's just
profile.
like,
So I
oh,
went over
you
and
got to meet this person. I'm like, okay,
yeah.
right. And so then she comes back, and I just like, I was so in a place of openness and acceptance to whatever, and just being in the flow. I had come to a space where I lovingly accepted myself fully, wholly, and completely. And so there wasn't a need for a completion outside of me. And if something showed up, that was great. And if not, that was great too. So I just like, whatever, okay. And then she comes back with, oh, by the way, here's how to see her profile.
That's
A
great.
couple of weeks
Okay.
later, right? And so I
Yeah.
get on there and I looked at her profile. I'm like, dude, I could have written this. She was serious. And I'm like, okay, I got to meet this person. This is crazy. And so then when we finally had our first video chat, actually, we emailed, and I was so curious that I was like, I don't have any more clients today. Can we do a video chat? Because I want to see this.
Yeah.
And we've talked about it since then. The first video chat, it was like talking to ourselves, and there was more than once where I'm going, wait a minute. I'm talking to myself. You're saying the same things I would say. Wait a minute. How can this be possible? It was so much like looking in a mirror and having a conversation. And yet there's these pieces that are enough different that I can, that Twin Feathers brings in a different perspective. And I'm like, oh, I never thought about it that way. And vice versa. So it was a little freaky at times because I was seeing so much of myself, and she said the same thing. And so it was really amazing because that's exactly what I had asked for. I was ready to receive someone who was ready to receive me in the way that I'm willing to receive another. And that's what I
Wow.
found.
Yeah. Wow.
And I have told several of my clients who have said, how did this happen? How did you manifest this? And I said, I'm really grateful that I got to a place that I chose to be at a place in my life where I love myself completely wholly, and I accept myself completely wholly, and I allow myself to be who I am.
Yeah.
And feel what I feel. And it's okay, because we are such a mirror, like a strong mirror for one another, that if I wasn't so in love with myself, it could get a little dicey at moments, if not. And so for me, it's all about the fact that we have both chosen to love ourselves unconditionally
First.
and accept ourselves unconditionally and allow ourselves to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what allows us to be sharing space together and time together harmoniously and with love and support.
Right. Because you guys are coming together to enhance each other's lives, not to fill in holes or complete each other. You're already complete
each other.
Or what?
Or heal each other.
Yes. Yes. Of course, healing happens when you're together.
Yes. Yes, it does.
That happens, but that's not the reason why. Like in the relationship before, you came together with her to heal. Like that was strictly for healing, where this is this feels like more of a divine complement, where you're compatible and you're enough. There's enough differences there too, where you complement each other.
Exactly.
Well, and to such an extent that we've already created a website together and are posting both content from each of us and content together. So we're blending our gifts and amplifying and blending our gifs to the world.
Beautiful. That's so beautiful. It's so interesting to me. I've been Spiritual Singles. I launched almost 25 years ago now. So we're coming up on a quarter of a century. And I've interviewed some members that met over a decade ago. And then you guys are the most new 6 months. Yeah, real recent, which is amazing. But when you know kind of thing. And my point is when two people that are complete and spiritually evolved and awake come together, it's more than just two people. It seems like the energies kind of go exponentially greater. And then you come together to really create some beautiful projects. And I mean, some have opened retreat centers and started classes together and and written books and all kinds of beautiful, synchronicities and combinations of bringing the two energies together. And it sounds like you guys are right there too.
Yep. Yeah. We're on the road for that. You betcha.
I love it.
Yeah. We set up our Patreon and Ko-fi pages. And so we're sharing, like say and we're creating this we call it we.
Mm-hmm.
And
and
what you were saying
individuals, but you're also a we.
Right. And what you were saying about exponentially, it's the from me to we, and then from we to we.
The big we.
Right. The oneness of all, right?
Everything. Yeah. That's everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And Rae received a song recently that exemplifies that. And so that's one of the songs that we sing in the morning. We sing morning songs, and we do a chant at night, a metta chant to send out peace to everyone. But this song, really speaks to the the flow of love, and then
the we.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. That's Annie and John start off their morning, another success story couple I interviewed recently, the ones before you, and they start out with a an affirmation. It's a long one about how great their day is going to be. And they say it together in the morning. It's like the first thing they do is they hold hands, look at each other, and say this beautiful affirmation. And
Right.
you guys sing a song together.
We
And-
sing 4 in a row, but that's one of them. In fact, we could
Sorry,
we could
not
sing
one,
it to you.
4. I love it.
Yeah.
If you, there are 4 short ones, but we could sing it for you if you'd like to hear it.
Sure, I'd love it. I was just thinking of that. You read my mind.
Look at that.
Well, I mean, so one of the biggest yeses for me is that she sings. I have always wanted a partner that could sing with me or make music with me in some way. And she's got a beautiful voice. Our voices blend. Well, you'll see. So that was like, okay, that was like done deal. Boom.
Special. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Sing, please.
Okay. You ready?
Ready, baby?
Ready. I am the love that flows through my body. I am the love that animates my being. I am the love that flows through all things. I am the love that is we. I am the peace that flows through my body. I am the peace that animates my being. I am the peace that flows through all things. I am the peace that is we.
Ooh. Wow. Oh, thank you. Thank you. That was beautiful. Really, really nice. Yeah. Wow.
And it's part of who we are that I have my entire life received information and translated that into words. And I received that in answer to my request for how do I open up more space inside of me to allow more of my divine essence to be there. And that was the words that were given to me. And as soon as I shared them with Twinfeathers, she is very, it's all music for her. It's frequencies and energy. Energy is my first language. And so I take
music is mine.
I take the energy and I translate that into words. She's music. It's all music. And so as soon as I shared the words with her, she says, that's a song. And I'm like, okay, whatever. And
then she got the song and she got the melody.
And she said, just allow the melody to come through. And that was new for me. I'm like, I never took it from the words to the music, to the sounding. And so that was it's our first like joint song,
our first
venture.
Wow. Well, yeah, that's the complementing energies that you both bring together. And
Right.
yeah, where one doesn't quite maybe have all the musical part, it's like Twinfeathers comes in and complements Rae, and there you go. And it's perfect. Wow. I love it.
Beautiful dance.
It is.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, I'm curious, you guys, everything's been fairly well, I'm assuming, so I don't know. I just met you guys, so I have no idea, right? So, which I love to do interviews that way. I've known some people that I've interviewed before, but you guys I've never met before. This is the first time we're talking. And I'm wondering, 6 months, some people could say, well, you're still in the honeymoon phase, right? So how do you know that because you've already had a wedding ceremony, correct? Or a joining of the heart?
It was we consider it a reunion ceremony, a reunion blessing. One of the gifts that I came in with this lifetime is the recall of many hundreds and hundreds of lifetimes. And so when we first met, one of the things that she mentioned to me is when we were video chatting before she drove down is, I keep wanting to call you Lady Rae. And I said, oh yeah, that's because of this lifetime that we shared together, blah, blah, blah. And I started telling her about it.
I went, oh, and then it started feeling right. And I went, oh, yeah, okay, I can feel that. Yeah.
And then I've recalled some other things, some other times. And so we fully recognize that this is a chosen coming back together for this time.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And
You're right. At this time of what's happening in the world.
rebirth. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
yes.
Rebirth. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. And you waited a little later in life, which is interesting, but you've probably also gotten to a certain level of consciousness for yourselves. You've remembered
Yeah.
enough
It
where
took
it's
this long
easy,
to, it
right?
took this
Like,
long to get where we can do that.
it does for all of us. It's just natural. Well, most, I can't speak for everybody, but for most of us, it takes some time.
Okay.
And, but it's just this time of what's happening in the world. It makes sense that even Rae, you having that healing relationship prior, it's like, okay, one last thing, clear that out. Okay, I'm ready now. Bring her on.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been doing that too. I mean, we've been complimenting each other on our clearings, and we're continuing to do that together. I mean, it's happening when things come up, and they do. We just deal with it, and either we help each other do it or we do it ourselves. And there's a lot of sharing of gifts that support the movement pretty quickly. She's got some amazing processes that just make things so much easier and simpler move. So yeah, we share that definitely. And yeah, stuff comes up, of course, but not a lot, because we laugh, like we just laugh at our little foibles. You know how we all have our little sticky
Yeah.
point. So we just start laughing. We laugh a lot. A lot.
That's important.
Yeah, it's just like everything is like, oh, look at that. There I am again. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
You know, it's like,
Yeah. You can see your personalities, because I get that way a lot, where I'm really in touch with my soul, my essence, my divine being, right? And then I'm watching the personality. It's almost like I'm outside looking, watching myself.
yes,
Yeah.
that,
And
yes, that.
it is comical, and it's hard to take it seriously when you see the bigger picture. It's like, oh gosh, I did that again, or oops,
There we are again.
yeah, whoopsie doodle, and no, I got to learn that lesson again. Okay, let's get this one done.
Yeah, right.
Tell me your favorite technique for healing, like when someone triggers somebody, when you guys trigger each other. What's a really quick, easy thing you could teach people that would help to heal things when they come up? Like, what's one of your techniques?
Well, first off, we talk about it.
Yeah.
Get it out on the table, and we each own it. We own our own, owning my own feelings, talk about the feelings. And then I don't know if you want to share any of your process or.
Well, for me, the biggest part is I have come to a place in myself where it's acceptable, and it's myself loving myself when I allow myself to express what I'm feeling, and it's okay to feel what I'm feeling.
Yeah.
And the knowing that Twinfeathers is going to allow me to express whatever I'm feeling without taking it personally.
That's big.
Just allowing.
Yeah.
So it's that loving acceptance that allows me to be me, that allows Twinfeathers to be Twinfeathers.
Yeah.
And because of that, I never come at it from, you did this and it made me feel this way, because that's not right. That's never the case.
Yeah,
no one can make me anything. I choose.
Yes.
Yeah. So for me, the biggest thing is we own our own stuff.
Shit.
Yes, thank you. We own our own shit. And it's
Yeah,
mine.
exactly. Good.
And the one, there's one particular time that pops into mind. It was like our first really, like, it felt very big to me because it was very big for me. It was me unpacking a whole lot of stuff that I'd been repressing in myself.
Mm.
And so it was lovely because I allowed myself permission to create space, physical space between us, so that I could allow myself to expand out into what I was feeling. And when Twin Feathers asked, can we just do this? And I expressed, I really need this space, and I really need to process everything the way that I'm processing it. And so she allowed that.
Yeah.
And because we own our own stuff that we're feeling, and we allow that to be okay, and Twin Feathers doesn't feel the need to take on any responsibility for it or responsibility for fixing it. She's just here to hold space and
Yeah.
allow me to go through my process. And I get through my process and I go, oh, dang, look at that. I didn't even know I was carrying all that baggage. And now I've just unpacked it. And thank you so much for holding space for me while I unpacked it. And then we address how beautiful it was that that experience took place in order for that to happen, for that
Sure.
healing moment to happen. So for me, it's this allowance, owning our stuff, but then allowing all of the expression that is required. And that's part of the process that I was gifted by my ancestors, was allowing what has been energetically locked into the body and mind to be acknowledged.
Yeah.
What is the one thing that humans really crave? They want to be acknowledged. They want to be seen. They want to be heard. They want to know that they exist. Energy is the same way. So if I have had a trauma wound and I've stored that way down deep in the basements of my body, what does it want most of all? It wants to be acknowledged. It wants to be say, hey, I exist. And then once we do that, then how can I help you be free?
Do you talk to that place of your body? Like it,
Absolutely.
yeah. And
Absolutely.
that energy, that emotion, that stuck
Right.
feeling. Emotion,
Right.
and
Right. It's having a conversation just like we are.
mm-hmm.
But it's
Mm-hmm.
also having that conversation from a space of pure loving acceptance.
Yeah.
Not judging it, just
Exactly.
listening, letting it express, listen.
Pure loving acceptance. In that space of pure loving acceptance, judgment, the energy of judgment, can never exist in that frequency.
Mm-hmm.
And because it cannot accept that, that creates that space for allowance. It's okay to feel what you feel.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just
Beautiful.
feel it as big and big and big and big as you need to in order for you to be done. And when you're done, you're free.
Here, here. Yeah. Well, and I think so many people, I was just talking with a friend the other day, and I actually did a hypnotherapy session for her, and was, and people can be in their 50s or 60s and not realize that expressing rather than numbing, because people will oftentimes go to the numbing, whether it's through alcohol or weed or
Yeah, I did that for a while.
yeah, sure. I think we've all been there at some point, and even watching, TV or podcasts or scrolling on there's all sorts of like addictions and numbing techniques that most of us have mastered, at least now or in the past. And what's important is to address that hurt, that pain, that energy when it comes up, like what you've described is so beautiful. And I think that will be helpful for a lot of people, because it's just, I like to, even when I feel any sad, whatever comes up, just to let myself express it too. Even if I don't know, I'll ask, well, when was the first time I felt this way? And that sometimes can help me go back and locate that original pain, right?
Sure.
Yeah. And then just letting myself express. Maybe I need to cry. Maybe I need to yell or hit a pillow, or, express the anger, whatever. Because I know a lot of women, as women, we don't, at least especially at our age range, it's like we haven't been trained to express anger. Like that's something that I've had a hard time. Right. No, I've had a hard time expressing that in the past. So it's sometimes I need to express it. And sometimes it can just be really quick, like just yelling and like realizing it's there, focusing, looking at it, realizing it's there, and then it's gone. It's like it just needs to be heard and expressed. Yeah.
Exactly.
And sometimes for me along the way, one of the things that's really helped me over the years is emotional freedom techniques, tapping. So that helps me find those places if I'm not connecting. She's very adept at it. I'm not as adept at finding the connection to the core of what's going on. So for me, EFT helps. Sometimes just sitting and sounding, because I do a lot of music medicine. So just sounding or humming. And if I'm already through the process, humming can kind of soothe the pain as it leaves. So there's
I like that.
lots of ways that we do our own thing, and then we help each other with that.
I like that. I'm just getting a good idea too, just tapping into your Native American energy that I'm feeling from you guys, and your tapestry behind you of the dream catcher and your dream catcher earrings. I've got Cherokee in my genealogy, and I love drumming. But I don't do it that often. But I think that would be a good thing to do, right? Is just
Yes.
just get into a rhythm and just let the energy flow, and then maybe, like you said, hum or chant or yell or sing, whatever needs to happen, just let it express.
Allow.
Allow.
Yeah. Yeah, the drum connects vibrationally with the heart.
Mm.
And so when you bring the heart into the drum and you allow the heart and the drum to be one, then you'll find that space that allows the energy to come to the surface and show itself. And then when you just allow, when you choose to allow whatever that energy benefits from expressing to flow through that moment, then it just sets you free.
Yeah, I love it. That's great. Thanks. Those are good techniques and good tips. And I think that's part of what I like to do with these interviews, is share some, not just know your story, but share some tips and techniques for other people, because we're all in this together, and we all have similar stuff coming up right now. And the quicker we can all heal and get through it, the better, because we can all create this beautiful, incredible world where we respect each other, we love each other, we're not divided by politics and religion and race and all this superficial
Superstitious and superficial. Yes,
both, right?
Yeah.
None of it divides us, and we look for the commonalities and our humanness more than the separation things. And I think it's so needed right now. So the more we can shed light on how we're similar and how we can help each other heal and grow and come into our divine essence. We're all sparks of divine, so let's start acting like it. Right.
Well, and we're all being invited to do just that. The changes that are happening on every level, energy, spirit, body, everything is changing, even our DNA. And so we're becoming lighter and connecting easier with the non-physical elements of where we live and what we do. And so, and people are a little confused. So people like you and us, we're on the ground helping those people go, you're okay. What you're doing is fine. Yes, it's a little crazy. You saw a ghost. Oh, okay. Well, that's great. That means that, you're changing your perception to open to something new and something different. And that's what's happening. And the more we do that, the easier things are going to be. And we are here for that. That's what we're here for, to help.
Definitely. Yeah, that's what we signed up for. And so many
Correct.
watching us are the same. And
Yes.
it's interesting because I know a lot of people feel like they have a purpose here. We all do. I think we all are different, have different pieces of the puzzle to place.
That's
And
right.
yet a lot of times people feel like they don't know what their purpose is yet.
That's an easy one. Yeah.
Go ahead.
So our purpose for being here now
Mhm.
is to be.
Yeah. Yeah.
Every single,
Not to do necessarily, right? To
no,
be.
to be.
Yeah.
And I love Wayne Dyer, I believe it was, that said, we're not human doings, we're human beings.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That was the first time I kind of tapped into that. Over the last, especially the last year, because I started receiving information about what we're going through back in 2010. And so I've had a lot of people who have been with me since then that are like, okay, you said, 15 years ago this was coming. And so now they're wanting kind of updates. And I know I'm here for a purpose. And you told me I was here for a purpose. So what's my purpose? And so I tapped into the ancestors and I said, because I'm a pipe carrier grandmother, and I said, how do I answer them in spirit? I want spirit to speak through me. I choose that. And so the grandmothers came through me and said, the answer is to be. Each individual aspect of source that we are came here with unique frequencies to assist in this birthing of a new creation that we are birthing.
Beautiful.
And the way that we do that is to be. And as Twin Feathers eloquently put, we are changing, we are becoming more light. We are stepping into our light bodies, our luminous bodies. We are reconnecting with our divine essence, which is all light. And so the more we are clearing out the debris, the more we are letting go of the luggage and clearing out the basements and clearing out the attics where we stored stuff that didn't, that's heavy. The more we're clearing that out and allowing space and creating space for our lightness, the more we're resonating the frequencies that we came here to contribute.
Yeah.
And so it doesn't matter what we're doing. We can be working a job, raising kids, working no job,
Being homeless.
being homeless. It doesn't matter what we're doing when we are being in alignment with our truth. We are doing exactly what we came here to do. We are fulfilling our purpose. Simple.
Oh, yes, yes. Well, and okay, so let's unpack this a little bit, right?
All
So,
right.
because it's interesting because being kind of implies not doing anything. Just
Exactly.
sitting here, meditating, relaxing, enjoying the ocean, whatever it might be, just being. However, there's still work to do on ourselves. So it's a balance, right? So we're not just sitting here meditating all day. We're actually, interacting with other people. We're living our lives. We're being present and also open to where we find it's kind of like if energy were just flowing completely through us and we were all light, there would be no resistance, like nowhere for it to get stuck, right? So,
Right.
so part of what I feel, and I feel you're on the same page here, is as the energy flows through where we feel that stuckness, that focus on that, and that may come up with in a relationship. It may come up with any kind of relationship. It could be a neighbor, a friend, a sibling, a parent, whatever, that where there's some sort of, struggle. Yeah, friction, some sort of resistance where it's not smooth and easy. That's the cue. Hey, hello, look here.
Yes.
Yoo-hoo! Fix this right here. And then you'll open up that channel and it flows through again, just, and the more we do that, the quicker it is to reach that, that level of ascension, if you will, where our vibration is higher and our frequencies are vibrating faster. We're all molecules, right? Vibrating at certain frequencies. And so as that frequencies vibrate, Twin Feathers like, meh, or I don't know what you're.
We are vibrating. Yes, I would say that we are energy vibrating. I don't know about the molecule, but I know that we are energy that's vibrating. And pain is a really good indicator that we're out of whack. But for me, the whole beingness is presence. And what you said, being present is part of the being. Now we're all being wherever we are, but if we're up here, scattered around, we're not connected. If we're connected being, then we're fulfilling our purpose. So that's the difference for me is connected being versus doing whatever we do. We're being when we're doing, we're always being when we're doing, but we may or may not be in the conscious part of that.
There you go. Yeah. Yeah. I like it. Right. Like even just this last week, I got out of my flow and I just felt like things, like everything was hard. And for me, I've always, especially learning hypnosis really early, like early 20s, I've always been conscious of what I say and how that affects and how that creates, right? Words are spelled, like spelling is spells and all the words and things and the energy. So I knew that I was not in congruence with my divine self. And I really had to shift because it was like the more, it's just so funny. The more I would focus on things not working, of course, the more things would not work.
Don't work. Yeah.
Focus. Yeah.
That's the way it goes, right? And so, yeah, like even to the point of my vacation rental, things breaking or, the shower head and this, and then all of a sudden now the chaise lounge, that's $1,000 chaise lounge breaks, like out of a guest sits on it and it freaking breaks. Like, and I'm like, make it stop. And so I started focusing on everything's great, and of course it's going to do more, like just to throw it in my face and go, hello, you're out of sync here, buddy. Like pull yourself back. And
how it works.
Yeah. And so meditation, grounding, getting back connected to my divine energy, being back in that flow. I listened to a couple podcasts that snapped me out of it. It's like, I could see how people can go down a hole, right?
Yeah.
And get stuck down there. And so for me, that's what I did. I listened to a couple really inspiring podcasts. I reminded myself, I meditated, even doing that hypnosis session for a friend. Because when I do that, I get into the flow and channel the divine energy through me for them. And that really helps. So being of service, things like that. Do you have any good tips to help people when they kind of get stuck or out of whack? Like what's a good way to get back in that divine flow?
Question everything.
Mm.
And one of the things that I really have loved and am grateful for is Twin Feathers introduced me to adding to my questioning to start with, I wonder. because I wonder makes it an adventure, and it makes it an exploration and a curiosity rather than a judgment.
Yeah.
And so
Give an example.
I wonder why everything is breaking all of a sudden. I wonder why everything is going south all of a sudden.
Yeah.
And then just sit back and
Yes.
from what I know about energy is we send out that question, I wonder, and then we let it go. Don't try to answer it with your brain. Your brain is the one that's mucking up the waters,
Channels. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So let it go. I wonder, and then go about your day. All of a sudden, you're going to see it. It's going to come in and it's go, you're mucking up the waters because you're in your head, chica. Let's take a step back and get back to our heart, honey.
There you go. Yeah.
Right?
Yep. Yep.
So question everything, and especially since our DNA, our everything about our physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, energetic beings is being rewritten.
Well, and everything is speeding up. So your cause and effect
Speeding
is
up.
happening faster.
Yeah.
So if you yell at somebody, you're going to have an immediate rebound in some way. Whether you stub your toe, depends on how, intense it is. Because
Mhm.
it could be, yeah, boomerang. There you
It's
go.
an
That's a
energy
good-
boomerang. Energy is boomeranging all over the place these days.
faster and faster and
Like-
faster.
like-
Remember manifestation, right? Remember years and years ago, it took a little while to do stuff, and it's like now it's like something happens and boom.
Boom.
Yeah. Yeah.
So question everything.
I love that. I love that. I wonder why, I wonder how, I wonder who,
Yeah.
I wonder why this is
Wonder
happening.
what this is about.
Right, because I really see that our external world is a reflection of our internal, right? So there was something in me that was either broken or, like you said, like in my head and out of my heart.
Right.
Things like that, that was like, hey, things are going to keep breaking until you figure this shit out. Then they'll stop and you'll be back in the flow and everything's great again.
Right.
Yeah. It was pretty interesting. There was something else. Oh, I was going to share that I think's pretty apropos to this conversation. And I love that what we're talking about, that's hardly, it's more about spiritual stuff than about your
Where we
success.
live.
Yeah, right? That's the beautiful thing.
It's who we are.
Yeah, me too. And it's like being in that flow of whatever comes up. That's why I don't like to script these conversations at all. I just like to see where we go. And what I was going to tell you is years ago, I was doing a hypnotherapy session for a client. This is when I was doing it professionally, which I haven't done in years. And she was deep in hypnosis. And I saw a vision of her thinking about an apple, and it was in like a thought bubble above her head. And then she put out her hand and the apple manifested. And I got the message, this is how it happens in 5D, fifth dimension. It just is instant. And I instantly knew that this lag time, like you were just saying, the lag time used to be a lot bigger and take longer for things to happen, after we think them or feel them or express them. And now it's speeding up.
Yeah.
It's really,
Very much
fast.
so.
Yeah, so stay on those thoughts and that energy and be aware, because whatever we are thinking is going to come back. It's going to boomerang back even quicker these days.
Not only quicker, but sometimes amplified. One thing I learned in AA was the magnifying mind. Whatever you focus on gets bigger. So
Yes,
if you're going, woe is me because of this and this, okay, well, let's give you some more woe is me. Let's give you some more.
And bigger.
And bigger, yeah. But if you switch that around and just go, I wonder, it sort of deflates that
Takes the energy out of it.
yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I was just going to say, right? It takes the energy out of it when you're,
Takes the energy out.
yeah, you're not emotional about it. You're not reacting
Takes-
like, oh, frickin' A, this happened, that happened. God, why?
Right.
I wonder why.
Yeah, it immediately shifts the energy.
Yeah.
Yeah, big difference. I love it.
Yeah. And I wanted to go back because something you said earlier, I've heard this so many times, especially in the last 15 years. You know, that's great that you get to just sit and meditate and be in your spiritual bubble, and the rest of us have to work, as if I don't. And we have to work and we have to do this and we have to live this life. And so when you know, we alluded to that kind of earlier, and I really feel like it's beneficial for at least someone out there to come back to that. And I'm going to relate it to when I teach my Reiki students Reiki. Reiki is not something you do. If you truly are going to choose Reiki, you become Reiki. So it is a choice every day to be in that frequency, be in that choice.
Yeah.
And then move through my day, move through my work, move through my interactions with the world, move through everything that I do as that.
Right. Same thing.
So being spiritual or whatever they're saying, it's not all. There are those who choose to sit on the mountaintops and be in chanting and doing meditation all day long, and thank you for that, for everyone that's choosing that. However, there's those of us who are boots on the ground, and we're experiencing this physical existence, and we're having life experiences that are relatable so that we can be that guide, be that light, be that example for others. And so we're out there we're doing the work, we're working in the workplace, we're doing, having interactions with society. And so when we're talking about the grandmother says to be, that is your purpose, it is that choice of what energy am I choosing to be today? Am I being peace? Am I being love? Am I choosing to be Maitri, loving kindness, love for the sake of love alone? And as I'm being that, carrying that in my body, in my being, as I do what I do in my day.
Beautiful. Yeah, right. That's cool. And super important. I, even in the session yesterday, I had, and I do this all the time. So, and you probably do too, I'm imagining. When I go out, I work at home. And when I go out off my property, whatever I might be doing, I could be going to the grocery store, something simple. I imagine myself being this ball of white light, golden energy, whatever, and just radiating out love, peace, joy, happiness, divine presence, my divine energy, so that it radiates out to other people and helps them remember that they're divine too. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So just being, I can just smile. I don't have to, say anything, teach anything, do anything. I'm just being and radiating out that energy, even driving the car, passing by other cars. Woo! Just let it flow. Yeah.
When we do that, we're inviting others to join us.
Yeah. It's fun. It's fun.
They do. They get it.
We have a lot of fun at the grocery store.
Oh my. Yes, we do.
There's always people, just saying stuff or interacting with us in animated ways and happy animated ways. So we know we're impacting.
Yeah. People smile and light up, and they don't know why, but they feel the energy.
Exactly. That's
they feel it.
And the ones that run away, we simply choose to send them love.
Yeah.
We see you. We see that you're not ready for that, and that's okay. We just we love you.
Yeah. Well, here in the Caribbean where I live, a lot of people I'm a minority here, race-wise, which I love. And it's interesting because sometimes in the grocery store, especially women, I notice they won't even look at me sometimes. And so when I first got here, I came from Mount Shasta, which is a small town, super, I was there 12 years and everyone's friendly and loving and it's high consciousness. And then, it's quite a shift to come here and not feel that small town community vibe, right? And it took a while, but at first I kind of took it personally, not really, because they don't know me. So I'm smarter than that, but it was just harder. Like, it was like kind of hurt my soul a little bit. Like, oh man, I just want to smile and connect with you and look you in the eyes, and give you love.
And they didn't
They
want.
wouldn't even look at me. It's like so it's, when that does happen, it's just a matter. You're right. It's just, not
That's
taking it
good.
personally and just next and moving on and just not letting it fuzz your buzz, so to speak. Just like,
I like that.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, so I have to ask you guys, since you both have, looks like shaved your heads, can you share what did you, were you that, did you both have shaved heads when you first met, or is this because you've come together? Or tell us the story behind that, because it's unusual for women, that's why.
Yes and yes. I started shaving my head close years ago when I was in the midst of a transition. The ancestors had invited me to shift what I had been doing in helping the birthing of the new earth and creation, whatever. And so I began cutting my hair close at that time as a symbol of a new start. And it was so easy to keep up because I was a gypsy for 2 years, traveling and working with the Earth grid and the Crosby grid. And it was just easier. And so I kept it. And then when we came together and chose the date 11/11 for our ceremony, our reunion blessing, we both recognize the indigenous parts of us that acknowledge the ceremony of shaving the hair off the head as a symbol of a new beginning. And so we chose to do that ceremonially on the morning of 11/11 for our ceremony.
Well, and I had been really short. My hair's been really short, and this last March, I was given the inspiration to have a tattoo of winking eyes put on the back of my head. And so I shaved that already so everybody can see it. And I just keep it short. So really, I mean, you can see it's starting to grow out now since we did the ceremony. I'll just leave the sides will be clean. It's so much easier to keep. There's no mess, no fuss, no product, no. Anyway, I feel more comfortable without hair since a long time. The first time I did it, it was such an empowering moment for me, because I had the sense that if I took the hair off, then I could really be seen. And if I allowed people to see me without hair, then that gave me courage, that gave me strength, because then I was not messing around with myself or anyone else. I couldn't hide. I couldn't hide behind my hair.
Interesting. Yeah, sure. That's wild. Well, and it's also, not caring what other people think is part of it, probably.
That's a
right?
big piece of it. Yeah.
That's an important lesson for all of us to learn at one point or another. Let's all get that one down. And then also I'm feeling that there's another piece to it too. What was it? Where'd it go? Not caring what other people think, but also just, also the vanity, like, letting go of any last, remnants of vanity, of caring about looking pretty or attractive or good. It's conforming. Yeah.
Conforming vanity.
And really just being like, really,
Right.
hey, this is me completely naturally. Well, maybe not so naturally, because it's natural to have hair, I would think, but whatever. But it's just you. It's just, here I am.
Right.
And like you said, you're not hiding or covering or anything with your hair. Yeah.
Well, and my hair isn't, there's not that much. It's getting thinner
Anyway.
and thinner. And it's just easier, like the guys that are balding, it's just easier, just take it all
Sure.
off and then you don't have to worry
Yeah.
about
How young are you guys?
I just turned 61
it.
a couple of weeks ago, or
Yeah.
a week ago, a week ago.
A
Yeah.
week ago, yeah, we had your birthday, and I'll be 70 in March.
Oh, okay. March what?
March 20th, usually on the
Oh.
equinox.
Right. We're 2 days apart. I'm the 18th.
Oh, look at you. All right, birthday buddy. What?
Yeah. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay. So what, 9 years difference? Not a big
Yeah.
deal. Pretty
Yeah.
close these days. Yeah, that's great. Okay.
And what's interesting to me about that is I've been in relation with other people that there was an age difference, and it always was magnified by the other person. They magnified that there was an age difference. And I thought it was interesting that ever since we've met, there is zero age difference, because for us, age doesn't exist.
Well, and culturally, we are in alignment because we grew up with the same cultural references,
Mhm.
commercial songs.
You're close
movies,
enough.
etc.
Yeah, you're close enough that it works. Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
curious, just to back up a little bit, just more on a personality standpoint too, like so you'd been talking on the phone, and Twinfeathers, you're driving down to Oklahoma, and you're going to meet. Yeah, and you're going to meet for the first time. Were you on your personality? Were you nervous, excited? How did you guys feel?
Well, excited, and there, I suppose, a little bit nervous, but it was so comfortable right from the moment that we met. It was like, oh, there you are. It was like recognition more than it was like, oh, there you are, my beloved. I've been waiting so long, and it's been unfolding like that ever since. It's not been awkward, hardly any awkward moments. In fact, to the point that I haven't from the very beginning, even when we were just talking, felt it necessary for me to withhold anything.
Hmm.
So I feel comfortable sharing anything, whether it's doubts or amazement or anything. There's no filter necessary here, and I don't put one up. Now, I might delay a telling because of a moment, but I do tell.
Yeah. Nice.
It's so easy when you're not judged.
Right. And holding that space for each other of
Yes.
that unconditional acceptance. And how did you describe it, Rae, earlier?
Loving acceptance.
Yeah.
Pure loving acceptance.
Yeah.
Pure loving. Yeah.
When we had the conversation on the video chat, that was one of those moments where I'm like, that's my line. You can tell my line. She's like, oh, it's only 10 hours away. I could just throw some things in the car and drive down. And I'm like, wait a minute, that's my line. That's what I say. Who are you?
Twinfeathers, I have to make a lesbian joke. So did you just show up with your U-Haul?
That was
the second one.
Second date. Second date. We wanted to make sure that was left intact.
Yes.
I
didn't need a U-Haul because she already had everything.
With all the stuff, just moved everything in. Second date. Keep that alive,
Right.
Somebody's got to do it. And but when she was going back to your question, when she was driving down here, it was interesting for me because I was so excited to welcome her home. That's
Oh,
what it felt like. Felt
that's
like I was, oh,
Yeah.
you're home, yay. And
Yeah.
and
Yeah. Homecoming.
so
Yeah.
when we started talking to our kids and our friends, I would say as well, Twin Feathers is moving home on
aw,
date. And that's what it felt like,
Mhm. Yeah.
is that
Coming home.
that she was just coming home.
Yeah.
yeah. And was it pretty easy blending? Like your house is big enough where you could blend easily enough and
Everything was perfect.
Well, and we're both gypsies,
So we don't have a lot of stuff.
so there's
That
not a lot
helps.
of stuff,
That
and so
helps.
that helped. But yeah, I mean, it's been so
Seamless
seamless
Yeah.
and effortless,
and effortless. Yeah.
and easeful, and it's
Yeah.
yeah. It's
Good.
been amazing, and we were talking about it last night even, that we've never been around another person that we didn't want to like get away from periodically. You know, it's like, I
Yeah,
love
sure.
you and I need my space.
Mhm.
And I attribute that to our energy is so resonant
Mhm.
that we can be in this, we can be in the same space, we can share the same space time without feeling like there's an intrusion on our space
No,
time,
not at all.
because our energies are so resonant.
No matter whether we're doing something together or not, we can be doing completely separate things, and doesn't matter.
That's a really good point because I think a lot of, especially, well, probably men too, but I know for sure women as we age and and most people have been in relationships and then they're single, there's this competing belief system, right? Where I want to be in a relationship, I want the benefits, I want it to
Oh,
enhance
yes.
my life, right? But I'm so free and happy and independent,
Right. We both had that.
right? And they're competing belief systems, which makes it hard for to manifest because it's literally like that. It's it's like, nope, you gotta,
Yeah, you have conflicting energy. You have you're
yeah,
sending out conflicting messages to the universe, and it's like, okay, when you make
It
up your mind,
delays
let me
everything.
know.
Yeah.
When
yeah.
you're ready to make up your mind, let me know.
Well, and I think just realizing one of two things, right? Number one, I think it can be that compatible and easy and smooth. Like like they're not necessarily going to piss you off or just get tired of each other or irritated or, it can be really easy and smooth. And when things come up, you easily work through them and it's in the flow. And then also I've interviewed couples that they take a little space, and that's natural and okay. Like some have had like separate wings and houses or separate floors. Like I'm on the third, you're on the second floor, and then we come together when, so we're not always in each other's space. So
Right.
there's different ways this can work. And I think
Sure.
regardless, if someone's single and they want to be in a relationship, then they need to get rid of the competing beliefs and get everything in alignment. And yeah, and you could actually state, okay, I'm ready for a relationship and this is what I want. I want it to be smooth and easy and just,
I choose.
I choose, thank you, not I want, I choose it to be, or it now is even better, right? It's
Right.
Yep.
smooth, easy, in the flow,
Well,
and
and for me, not attached to the package it shows up in,
Exactly.
that's
and not
huge.
attached to any part of it.
Yeah, yeah.
How does
Like
it feel?
that's
How's
the
it
piece
feel?
for me. And
Yeah.
a year or so before, even more than a year, like 3 or 4 years ago, I started feeling that there was going to be a partner. Don't have any idea how long, but I went, oh, cool. So that's when I started really intensely doing my own work. And I went, okay, if I'm going to have a partner, I need to show up. So that there was a lot of, and both of us have done the gypsy thing let go of a lot of not just, physical stuff, but we've done the work. We have done the work. And that's what I encourage everybody to do, the work. Get yourself clear. Get
Me
yourself
too,
in a
for
place where
sure.
you feel good about you before
Yeah,
you
yeah,
fix
come
things.
whole, and
Mhm.
yeah, not looking to be fixed or completed or entertained or whatever it might be.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Love.
the entertainment
Don't look,
happens.
don't look
Yeah.
for love. Don't look for love, be love.
Be love. There you go. Yes, I love it. That feels like a good place to
Yes, doesn't it?
complete our
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yes.
love it. Well, you guys are just such a beautiful joy, and thank you so much for sharing your experience and even just tips and guidance for everybody, because it's really helpful right now and needed. And I think that's now part of my mission in doing these stories, is to give tips and advice of, how to help us stay in a high vibration, high frequency, and for us to realize that we're all human and we all, like even me going through that last week, it's like we all need help sometimes and we all need a boost, and there are techniques and there are, attitudes and energy, and we can all help each other out, and,
Yes.
right, together we can help each other rise. And
That's right. We're all one family. We're all in it together. We might as well, support each other and ourselves by doing that. Yeah.
let's admit it and help each other out.
Yeah.
I got
Yeah.
it. Yeah. Well, thanks you guys. And I
Thank
brought,
you.
oh yeah. Yeah. You're welcome. My pleasure. Yeah. My
Well,
pleasure.
may this interview serve whatever purpose it's needed to be served.
Here, here. Yes, it will. It already is. You know how it's all happening at once, right? So
That's right.
we're touching,
Oh, yeah.
we're touching the people that need it, that need to hear this. And
Going out there.
Yeah.
yep, yep.
Thank you so much, Jill. This was lovely.
Yeah.
Thank you, ladies. Well, you have a wonderful life together, and I know you'll be in touch, and
Yes.
keep me updated on new projects and new things you're working on. And
Absolutely.
who knows, maybe in 5 years I'll interview again and we'll touch back, and gosh, imagine what the world's going to be like in 5 years. Everything's
Oh,
speeding
yeah.
fast.
Different.
It's
Different.
gonna be
It's going to be
awesome.
good. Yeah, let's create it so it's really good, right?
Yes,
Yes.
we are.
To all those, thank you for watching, and please like and subscribe and share this interview with your friends and family and anyone who might need a little uplift, and stay tuned for more success story interviews. Thank you.
Yay.
Weehaw.